It's time again to look at some best practices for Alyvix. So we've already looked at best practices for starting up a new test case and for marking up graphical elements on a screen capture. This time, we'll look at how to use the component options that are available in the designer panel to get the best out of the visual elements we've marked up. When you first look at the panel, your attention probably goes straight to the component tree. But right above that is the drop-down where you can choose the appearance type to use for the entire set of components shown in the tree. Almost always, you'll want appear mode, which means that we want to know the moment all components are visible on screen at the same time. That's most useful in a monitoring scenario where we want to know when results appear or how long it takes for an interface to change from one screen to another. But other scenarios may call for something different, like when what you want is already on screen and you want to know when it goes away. Or when you want to know how long it takes for it to both appear and then go away. So our first best practice is to know what you want to measure in the interface and be able to map that to the concrete components and options Alyvix has. Do you want to measure how fast you can step through a task using the interface, or how fast your back end can compute a result? Then use appear. Need to know how long a wait message lasts on screen? Use appear disappear. Are you trying to determine how long it takes before an existing value in a dynamically updated Ajax field is updated? Use disappear. Just remember, though, that this option applies to all components. You can't choose one option for a single component, but another one for the other components. In the last video, we saw the three component types and how to mark them up on screen. All three component types, image, rectangle, and text, have the exact same actions. Most of the time, you'll just use the none and click actions to either just recognize a component or to press a button or type in something. But you should know when you'd want to use the other actions, besides none and click. They are a bit specialized, but they can save a lot of time in particular situations. In general, for efficiency, you should try to put as many actions as possible in a single step, without interfering with the timing, and without making it so complicated it doesn't work. Use move when you want to see a tooltip, check whether an option is disabled or not, reveal a hidden item like a section or image on a web page, or even just when debugging, if you only need to test whether something is recognized. Use scroll rather than trying to grab a scroll bar with the mouse. Use hold and release when you want to move objects like icons around. You can use them in the same step or across multiple steps, as long as the mouse isn't used for something else. Every action except none allows you to use the set point parameter. This offsets the point of interaction, which by default is the center of the recognized object. Instead, that interaction point will be a set distance and angle relative to the center of the component. So if the mouse is here, you can have the move or click actually happen over here. If you want to use set point, make sure the parent object is nearby and will always be at the same relative angle and distance. When you use set point, an arrow appears next to the mouse icon in the component tree. The direction of the arrow reflects the direction of the set point in the screen grab. That mouse icon or keyboard icon actually has a lot of information about the action options you've selected. If you select a different set of action parameters, you'll see that icon dynamically change as you do. If you're looking at someone else's test case or one you created just last year, you can immediately tell what actions it uses on the components just by looking at these icons. All mouse and keyboard actions, along with their corresponding icons, are shown at the bottom of the component options page. Farther down in the panel in the string field, you can tell Alyvix to type something into a text field in the application interface. You're not limited to just the regular text characters, though. You can use all the special characters available on a standard keyboard. The full list with explanations is on the user guide page, the string field. For instance, the Enter key, Tab key, and Backspace key, or the modifier keys like Control, Shift, and Alt are all there, and the curly braces serve as the escape characters. These special keys can often save you time when working with a structured interface. For instance, with Excel, you can embed several tab commands to enter data in multiple cells at once. And the modifier keys like Shift, Control, Alt, and Window have both up and down versions, so you can replicate the entire range of keyboard functionality. The text component has specific options to let you add logic to the text that's recognized in the markup box and shown in the scrape field. Under the Detect option, you can switch between the regex, number, and date modes. In the default regex mode, you can type in any regex that's valid in Python. If, during the interface scan, the text matches that regex, it counts as a correct component match. Remember that the text match can include a regex. It doesn't have to be an exact match. In number mode, you can apply a numerical test to the integer that Python converts from the scanned string. The result of that test determines if the component matches or not. Third, date mode lets you apply recency tests to see if the recognized date falls within the last hour, day, week, etc. If it does, then the component matches. So you should know how number and date modes work and how to use them when it makes sense. We've made a separate video about the map parameter, which allows you to loop over text strings. One time when you'll definitely need to use the string field is when you have to enter login credentials. We already have a video on this topic that tells you all the steps involved. It's also one of the written tutorials on the Alyvix website. That's it for today. Next time we'll look at our steps in Selector and the scripting panel. Here, though, is a repeat of the best practices from today. See you soon for part 4 in this series.